Hi, this is Simon Barry. I'm the creator showrunner of Warrior Nun, and you're watching the ARROYO show. The camera department to the art department to the actors and directors, everyone feels like this is a real opportunity, and so everyone kind of, I guess, gives their best. I know I did when I was directing episodes.
All right, come on in. This is the Arroyo Show. I am Brandon Arroyo. If it's your first time here, please give it a thumbs up and a subscribe. Our first guest today, the showrunner of the new sci-fi series Warrior Nun, coming to Netflix July the 2nd, tomorrow. My gosh, already here. Welcome to the show, Simon Barry. How are you?
Thanks very much. I'm good. I'm excited. It's getting close to 0 hour.
Oh yeah, for you, these last couple hours, what is it? What are you feeling? I mean, a couple hours, Warrior Nun, your project about to be out.
Well, there's a lot of anxiety because you want the show to do well, and you want the audience to like it, and you want Netflix to like it, and hopefully get you another season so you can keep telling the stories. But it's a nice place to be. The trailer was really well received. I think they've got over 2 million hits on it, and it's caused a lot of conversation, which is great. And so, hopefully we can deliver the show that in the same way the excitement of the trailer is delivered.
Oh yeah, I mean the trailer was fantastic. So congratulations on that. From what we've seen so far, that the it's just amazing. I mean, the level of special effects that we've seen in it. What were your first impressions of Warrior Nun as a whole? When you first got the story, when you first saw the story, what was it that stood out to you? What were your impressions?
Well, it came to me in the form of graphic novels from Ben Dunn in the '90s, and so the graphic novel had this great attitude. It was dark, it was funny, it was quite outrageous in its own way, and but it also dealt with heaven and hell and good and evil and this incredible group of fighting women. So right out of the gate, it just felt like something that was unique, fresh, and had attitude. And I really liked that it had that attitude, and the title sort of has the attitude as well. And I just knew that there was going to be 1,000 stories and 1,000 great ideas that could come out of that world.
Now, when you look back at season one, obviously that chapter on it has closed for the production end of it. What will you remember most from the production and creation of season one?
Well, like, it would be the amazing people I got to work with, not only the directors and the cast and the writers, but the team in Spain, the production team in Spain that we put together, who are some of the most talented and most fun people you could ever ask to work with. Was really unique for me. I mean, I've only ever worked in North America before, and mostly in Vancouver. So for me to go over to Europe and to go somewhere as beautiful as Spain and have a collaboration really with artists who just made everything better, made every idea we had on paper jump off the page in ways that it was incredible. That for me was really amazing and quite something. And it inspired everyone. It inspired the actors and the directors to really push hard and make as good a show as we could.
Yeah, I mean, when you're in a situation like that, where, like you said, you're accustomed to shooting in North America, I'd imagine there's a lot that's different, from the logistics of things to understanding where you are, speaking different languages, people that speak different languages around you. What were some of the biggest differences for you in Warrior Nun shooting, in just the process of shooting in a different country like that?
Well, I mean, they're all positive. The idea that in Spain, the amazing thing in Spain is you can point the camera in any direction and you see something incredible, and you see 1,000 years of history, and everything is kind of laid out for you in a way that the feelings of what our show was trying to do was very much a part of the landscape there. Castles and old cathedrals and old churches are everywhere. So it really made us feel like we were, in a place where the themes of the show were going to kind of come to life, and ideas like the mythology of the warrior nun and the Crusades and parts of our backstory were going to be something we could pull off. And I mean, the Spanish crew were amazing. I mean, everyone in our crew was spoke English perfectly. I mean, I wanted to learn Spanish while I was there, and I failed miserably at that. But if we're lucky enough to do another season in Spain, I'll definitely start working on that now. But it was great. I mean, it was all positives. I can't think of a single negative really about shooting there.
Now, set decoration and set creation, obviously in Hollywood and Los Angeles, is amazing. But one would assume that when you're in a situation like you mentioned, where anywhere you look, you're in the world that you're shooting. Does that just add a little bit extra to like the energy of the film and just being completely immersed in an area like that?
Well, I think it does affect the actors and the directors as well. I mean, it definitely makes you feel like it's not a set. You know, when you're in a big cathedral or you're in an amazing palace or in a castle, as you know, we shot in a real castle. It really just fires everybody up, and you know, it inspires everyone. I think from the camera department to the art department to the actors and directors, everyone feels like this is a real opportunity, and so everyone kind of, I guess, gives their best. I know I did when I was directing episodes. I just felt like I had an obligation to absorb all of this beautiful landscape and culture and translate it into the show.
Now, Simon, when we spoke with Alba Baptista last week, who plays the role of Ava in Warrior Nun, she told me that you gave her the advice that is basically her mantra right now. You're only going to be the lead in a Netflix show for the first time once in your life, so you better enjoy it. What does it mean to you to share these experiences with actors at such a major point in their career?
Well, it is exciting to do it, to see it through their eyes, and get to experience the newness of it, because I got to do this once upon a time back with my first show, and it was very exciting and it was very new. And now it's become a bit more routine. So I get to kind of reattach to those feelings of excitement and of the thrill of this through the people I'm working with who haven't done it before. So, and also for Alba, it was really, I just wanted her to enjoy the process, because it can be quite exhausting, and it's a lot of pressure to be someone who hasn't done this before. She's an amazing performer. She's an amazing person, and I just wanted to make sure she enjoyed it, because it's something that you do remember for the rest of your life, and you want to make sure that it's a positive memory.
Well, you talk about people that are, just doing this for the first time. For you, when you first started getting into the idea of creating movies, you said that films like Jaws and Alien both had a great influence on your art growing up. You now make films that are sci-fi with great special effects. What was it about these movies growing up that just sticks with you over all these years?
I think it's the ability to kind of get lost in a different world. I think that if you can, as a young person, watching movies like those, it really felt like I was transported to those places, and I was living those experiences with the characters. I guess as someone who makes TV and film now, I want to do the same thing for my audience. I want to give them the same exhilaration that I felt and have the same visceral experience that I had. So I guess I'm just sort of honoring the process, which is really, I work for the audience, and I want to make sure that the audience has as good an experience that I do when I go into a movie or into a TV show. That's my standard, really, is if it works for me, I hope that it works for them, and I like to think that I have a high bar.
Yeah, and you've been doing so well with that for so many different projects now. You've created, some of the world's, you've created the worlds of such strong female lead characters, whether it be Kiara in Continuum or Vanessa in Van Helsing. In your mind, how does the character of Ava different from some of these previous female leads that you've had, and maybe where is she a little bit similar?
Well, I think there are similarities in the sense that a lot of these characters were pushed into a role they didn't necessarily choose. Kira was inadvertently sent into the past. Vanessa wakes up in the middle of a vampire apocalypse that was already happened, and sort of has to discover her role in it. And Ava is, in the wrong place at the wrong time, but also the right person for the role, as are all those women. So I think that the similarities are strong. The differences really are just the methods, you know. Uh, the characters of all those women, they approach their problem solving in such different ways that made for great storytelling for each of them. But I mean, it's I think we all wonder what we would do if we were thrown into a situation we didn't think we were ready for, and we dig deep into our own soul and our own psyche and try and find who we are, you know, as a person. And I think all three of those characters do that. They all look for their strength and find it.
He is Simon Barry, showrunner for the show Warrior Nun, coming to Netflix on July the 2nd. Tomorrow. My goodness, the day is already here. It's hard to believe, Simon. As we wind down the interview here, we have the final 5 questions of the evening. Your who, what, when, where, and how. First question, who do you speak with the most right now?
My wife, Jackie.
What item do you use the most each day?
My phone.
It never leaves our sides these days, right?
It's terrible, actually. It should be something. It should be something else, but it's my phone.
When did you know you wanted to be in entertainment?
When I was, it was May 1975.
Wow. Why so specific? How so specific?
No, it was the release of Star Wars.
Oh, okay. Oh my gosh. Fantastic. And more special effects that are just like out of this world. When you first saw Star Wars, did that just blow your mind?
Sorry, that would be 77, wouldn't it? May 77. Yes, I was locked in. My mind was blown wide open, and everything changed.
Simon, where is your dream vacation?
My dream vacation. It's probably Italy. I love Italy. I love the food. I love the people. And my wife and I have gone a couple times, and we've had an amazing time every time we've been there. And so, yeah. Tuscany.
And final question, how do you define success?
I define success by loving what I do every day, going to work and not feeling like I'm doing the wrong thing, or I mean, I would do what I do for nothing. I don't need to get paid. That's for me the definition of success.
Simon, thank you so much for giving us a little bit of your time today. Really appreciate chatting with you, and I hope that you're able to make it all the way through this evening. The excitement, it is officially coming out. Warrior Nun. Thank you for spending some of your time with us today.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.